Darker mood marked a turning away not only from the band's poppier past, but also from any lingering association with Britpop, a movement which at the time was dying on its feet.
You can't say we weren't aware of it,
because it was all on the Britpop movement TV show.
It was all in the papers and all over the place. And I just think we didn't really want to talk about it. We didn't really open up to it or particularly understand it. So in interviews, when it would be based around Britpop, we'd be like, well, I don't know. We're just sort of a band. I don't know. All this stuff's happening and there's supposedly Britpop going on, but I don't know if we're.
I think it was more like it was almost like a lot of bands in London and stuff like that who supposedly all knew each other, and there was this big kind of movement in the scene. But we didn't live in London or anything, and we didn't really feel part of. It's like being lumped into something if you don't really particularly want to do it. It's annoying. It's also people lump you in.
The more you kind of go against it, say, look, we're not Britpop, and we never really did that because that was sort of you don't really need to kind of state the obvious and stuff. We just go, oh, we're not Britpop and stuff. It just doesn't really matter. So we just kind of left it alone and just did our own thing, and I don't know, just got on with it in our own way. I remember thinking Part Life was really smart, because it was quite diverse, had a lot of sort of different stuff on. I thought
not hugely though.
But I don't think anything else around. People saying the bands that have not lasted from Britpop, it's because they probably weren't good enough. Songs weren't good enough to sort of last. And, probably Blur were okay, and they've sort of lasted.
By forging their own identity, Supergrass became one of the few bands in the class of '95 still in a position to wonder what they will do for their next album.
I don't think we wanted to be. We didn't want it to be as kind of wide and as guitar-y as In It for the Money. So I think we kind of wanted to simplify the production a little bit and just make the songs really good. The structures of the songs really interesting and stuff. And so that's why stuff like Far Away and Your Love and Jesus and stuff came along, because they were just a little bit more kind of based around the structure and a really good sort of solid song. Not necessarily 2.5 minutes, but just a good song. And then just not confusing it with just loads of layers of all sorts of things, just kind of keeping it quite focused. And that was the main kind of, that was the main goal really. But we didn't have any idea about what it was going to sound like, song-wise. We didn't know it was going to.
The whole album was kind of written before when we did In It for the Money, we didn't hardly have any songs. We just came out of the back of a tour and went into the studio. And we just kind of made songs up in the studio. But this one we kind of wrote a lot of the lyrics and the songs like in a rehearsal room for about 3 months or something before.
Did all demos and stuff.
We kind of did it. So a lot more sort of thought went into this one, I think. It was a bit more kind of organised than our previous attempts, which can be a bad thing probably, but
we'd also sort of learned from producing it for the money, so that was a little bit more comfortable in the studio as well, and doing our own things and doing things that we picked up on the last one that we remembered worked, and just little ideas.
But it's quite a kind of diverse album. It's not. I don't think we've ever done an album that's really kind of down one path and
has strong nearest,
ideas about lyrically as well. I think lyrically we're just all over the place.
It's all quite schizo really, because all the three of us and now my brother Rob as well is writing a lot more than he ever has and stuff. So it is a bit schizo really. Just have all four of us, different inputs, different vibes, different feelings, but somehow you can get that into one song sometimes.
Having made what was easily their best album to date, the band didn't do its chances of success any favours with a controversial and quickly banned video for Mary.
But what was it supposed to be? It was supposed to be like just a black comedy, really.
It was our first sort of go at directing as well. Not directing.
It's a really good video though, but no one really got to see it.
But writing a video, so we wrote it. We'd just been on the bus and we were watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre and just a few sort of weird things. And for a couple of weeks we went a bit weird and stuff.
Snuff movies.
I remember sitting around in Scandinavia at some point, just sort of talking around. There's a beers going, right. And then you can just chop the heads off and there'd be loads of blood coming out and stuff. But then we sort of toned it down. And all we wanted really was something that conveyed the song, which was really kind of like, really sort of dark and sort of like paranoid and stuff.
Yeah. But we didn't ever want it to kind of, if we knew it was going to be banned or something, we would have done something like really horrible or something. But
if we're going to make a video, we want it to be seen. I don't believe in that sort of.
It's because I don't think you're allowed to have vomit in videos these days.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
You know, it's
I
quite
mean,
a natural
there's mother vomiting over her children, someone drowning in a bath, but, that's all right. Usual.
I think that's less offending than
You get that on Buffy.
Puff Daddy's arse in your face or something like that.
No, Puff Daddy's bitch's ass in your face.
I got a girl and her name is Mary. I like to shock her on a basis daily. I like to push you over into my stream. I like to point out that our teeth are green. I tell you stories that you won't understand. I love you eating from the palm of my hand. I'm gonna push you further into my dream. The back of every head or something obscene.
Apart from shocking some critics, the Supergrass album also served to confuse others, who listened to the lyrics and concluded that all was not well, a conclusion the band found hard to understand.
I see it a lot more uplifting in many ways than In It For The Money was.
It was a lot more easier album to do than any of the others. I think it was just, you can't say songs like Jesus Came From Outer Space is dark and brooding.
Initially, we had the hook moving, and we just had to.
Yeah, it's the way the music
sort of had to go that way. But yeah, the music wasn't particularly sort of hey, we're all happy and stuff. But it's kind of you just sort. It's got to be about kind of getting away from situations that I could remember. Like anyone has to get away from a town or a city or a situation and stuff. And it's just about that really. But then the chorus comes in and it's like you've got a low feeling, but it's kind of there's an air of optimism as well, because the music's so sort of bouncy. So if you look at it and you just make up your mind that you think it's depressing, then it's depressing.
Because I don't think we have a clear-cut kind of a message, or we don't have a set of sort of fans. I think it's quite diverse.
I think there is a I know you're right. There isn't anything.
The necrophiliacs.
It's probably quite hard. It's probably quite a bit frustrating sometimes. People can't sort of grab hold of a band. You sort of take Westlife. You know exactly what it is. Yeah. You want to grab hold of it, and everyone does, and they don't change. So there's nothing to
Easy what you say.
No, I'm not being negative. I'm just saying that it's good for the fans in a way, because they won't have any surprises, if you like, and it's kind of a solid fan base and stuff.
But I don't really think we even really know what we're doing in life anyway. So it just kind of comes across in our music that there's no kind of set ways to do stuff.
I don't think I don't know how I want to sort of.
We haven't got a clue what the next album's going to sound like, basically, anyway. So it's quite interesting. It keeps it kind of interesting because everyone's kind of songwriting develops and goes different ways. And,
I always find it a bit weird sometimes when you listen to the radio and you can tell who the band is by the first chord, because you know the guitar sound. They always use the same drum sound or something. It's just like, well, it's not particularly interesting. It's good to be, a bit diverse, freak people out a bit. Don't always give them what you think they want.
Although only 5 years have passed since their first album, Supergrass must look at today's charts with some horror, wondering if in a world of manufactured pop, there's still a place for real bands.
I've always kind of, tried to hold the belief that there's room for everything, No, I don't really particularly. I have, obviously, I like my music, the music that I like, and a lot of what's going on now I don't like, but there's no reason I'd say for it to disappear.
The only thing that gets annoying is stuff like the amount of kind of promotion and the kind of like little games you have to play to, if you do this, then therefore you'll be able to do this and stuff like that. And it becomes like not about music and.
It's difficult because it's been a lot
But
harder
to compete with like boy bands and stuff like that who just do all that stuff anyway, God, like kids TV and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know.
It has been a lot harder to sell these last 2 records, basically. It's been, we've had to work shitloads harder than we had to for Ice Coco. And I think that's sort of, and then you look at it.
We don't really can't be arsed with it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter that we have to do more stuff and to maybe sell the same amount of records or a bit more or something. It's just the way it is, really. It doesn't really matter.
Moving, just keep moving. Where I don't know why to stay. No ties to bind me.